one of the only ways that I know how to process things is to talk about it. And obviously, I'm probably going to be thinking this direction for a little bit in regards to Charlie Kirk, and I've already made one comment about it. So this is just another, just as I'm processing today's events. One thing I want to call out, and I feel like it's important and it's vital, is there are a lot of people spitting vitriolic, vile remarks all across social media, all across the landscape, and it's a lot of it's vile, a lot of it's disturbing, a lot of it's disgusting, and it's symptomatic of the sickness that I was talking about earlier. It's symptomatic of the disease that is pervasive, so pervasive in our society today that even when someone is assassinated, people are excited about it. It's this bloodlust that our culture has, very akin to ancient Roman history when the spectators would be excited at the Colosseum seeing Christians being ripped to shreds by animals. It's just a symptom of the disease. And as you watch these people come out of the woodwork and spout just barbaric things, I'm already starting to see it. There's this tendency to say, fire them. Make sure they go to work tomorrow and everyone knows how evil they are. And I understand the desire for revenge is probably there to a degree. But this is the thing that I feel like Charlie Kirk fought a lot for, was the freedom of expression of opinion. And it's one of the last remaining human freedoms that any society has, and it's almost only here in the United States, at least for right now, where even a person's vile statements should still be protected by the freedom of speech that we have access to here in the United States. And so as some of us mourn this event, this loss of life of someone that was literally just calling into account a society who needs accountability, as we mourn it, as we think about it, as we reflect on it, don't seek revenge. Don't seek to destroy opposing views or to silence opposition. I tend to stay outside of a political sphere. I don't enjoy politics. I have a lot of political opinions, but I'm a follower of Jesus, and I believe God sets up and tears down governments more than you and I have an ability to even comprehend. But that being said, we have to maintain our ability to have this freedom of dialogue and of expression in our society today. And what we saw with Charlie Kirk was someone who excelled, someone who fought for freedom of speech. And we see the repercussions of someone trying to silence that. And the church only has so much of a window still within the culture. It's dissipating quickly. But the church in the West has only a slight window remaining of this ability to freely express our beliefs, our opinions, and it's dwindling. But the challenge then becomes, don't seek to silence the opposing viewpoint necessarily, at least through firing or berating them publicly or whatever they do, they're going to do. But as the church, Jesus told us that we were going to be hated by all men for his name's sake. We were going to be reviled. We were going to be persecuted. But persecution, as one early church speaker said, is the blood of the martyrs is the seed of growth in the church, basically. And so there's going to be a lot of discussion over the next couple of days and weeks, and I don't know if this will be the only assassination attempt. Lord only knows what's next for the United States. But if there's anything that we should attempt to protect at all means and at all costs to the best of our frail attempts and our frail abilities, it's the freedom of expression. Because ultimately that is what was silenced today, was someone's ability to freely express their opinions, their viewpoints, their desire to speak truth to power. So all of that being said, don't seek revenge. Don't seek disruption of someone else's opinions and thoughts, regardless of how vile they may seem. Because the moment freedom of speech is taken away from us, it's the last bastion of hope that our society has to maintain any level of discourse in our society. So keep that in mind. Christians, keep praying, keep preaching, keep teaching, keep loving, keep ministering, because even though someone has just a disgusting view on something, doesn't mean that they should have their opinion revoked. They should be able to speak that. But we as Christians know that God is in control of the outcome. Know that God is going to, only God can change the hearts and minds of men. But we have to stand for freedom of speech at this stage. We have to. We have no choice or no hope if freedom of expression and of speech is taken away. What happened to Charlie Kirk was unbelievably just shocking to me personally. And what I've taken from him over the years of listening to him, I've listened to him for 3, 4, 5, 6 years now, was the desire for discourse, the desire for dialogue between opposing viewpoints. And so people that are on the right side of the discussion that tend to lean more conservative, we cannot remove someone else's ability to freely express their opinions. But what we can do is pray for them. Pray for the hearts and minds of men. Pray that God allows the hard heart of human expression to be softened like what Ezekiel prophesied would happen in Ezekiel 11 and Ezekiel 26 or 36, where he says God will put a new spirit in them, a new heart in them. And so watch the vitriol, pay attention to it, but trust that God in his foreknowledge, God in his provision, God in his sustenance, his sustaining hand, will provide for the hearts and minds of men to be pricked and to be changed, because you and I sought their peace in the midst of their desire for destruction. So with that being said, this is the final thought I'll have for right now, maybe more later, but don't hate your enemy. Jesus said, love your enemy, do good to those that persecute you. Don't seek revenge against your enemy. As we see this vile topic, this vile discussion come out of people's just attempt to be just disturbing, pray for them. Heap fiery coals on their head, like Paul said, and pray for them, that God might prick their hearts and that they might have a change of heart to truly seek God. Until next time, God bless.